Hi, this is Sandy Carter, the author of The New Language of Marketing 2.0. And we've just talked about the ANGELS framework, and today what we're going to focus in on is the A, how to analyze your marketplace. Now, the whole premise of the book is to insert some of the new 2.0 methodologies into your traditional approaches. So what we'll do today is talk about a couple ways that you can impact analyzing your marketplace using some of these new techniques. The first one is, how do you look at the globalization effect? With the world becoming flatter, analyzing the marketplace not just in one market, but overall is going to become increasingly important. So what are some of the ways that you can use these new 2.0 marketplace techniques to strengthen your market? Well, one example in the book is with Dove, and they looked at and leveraged the web in a cultural context, exploring how to disseminate their message in Europe and in Russia in different fashions with their message as it went out, analyzing what was effective in both marketplaces. Another great example was Lenovo and how they localized their message, taking what they knew from China and applying the problem solving of analyzing that marketplace to India and what was important in the Indian marketplace. This whole area of globalization is going to become even more and more important, and in the book there is a framework that looks at things like your ecosystem, looking at how you might serve those distinctive marketplaces, how you manage the risk and how you do that using Web 2.0 in an entire way to globalize your marketplace from a marketing perspective. The second thing that this analyze area gets into is how to make sure you're looking at your distinct marketplaces. There will be some of your marketplace who is a digital citizen. In fact, if you look at some of the numbers from IDC, they'll tell you that about 50% of the marketplace is online, which means that probably 50% of your marketplace is not online. So how do you determine when someone is reading an email, someone's not? In fact, most recently, this past week, this guy said, I only look at my Twitter account, I don't look at email. How you segment that market based on the way they prefer to get information will be a very key way that you can leverage some of those marketing 2.0 techniques. And then finally, when you analyze that marketplace, how do you leverage online tools to do that? A couple that we found very effective. One is something we call Banter. What it does is it allows us to measure the number of times that people talk about certain terms, use certain phrases, the amount of times that things show up on Facebook or MySpace or in blogs. We leverage that information with our traditional focus group information. The beauty here is that online allows you to experiment and to turn things much faster if you monitor that banter that is occurring. A great case in point was Johnson & Johnson with their Motrin. They came out with a new ad for mothers. Mothers were not happy about it. On Twitter, an online account, there was a lot of bad publicity that they got for that ad, which because they listened, they immediately pulled down the ad and replaced it because of the feedback that came from Twitter. So this is analyzing your marketplace, things that you can do much faster. You can experiment if you leverage and use some of these new Web 2.0 techniques with your traditional marketing plan. Thanks.